Now getting into probability theories. So during your school times or college time, you would have learnt about probability theory. What is probability theory? Yeah, as Vishal said, it is actually chance, the chance of getting. For example, if I toss a coin, okay, I'm tossing a coin, and what is the probability of getting my head? It is actually 1 by 2. Only one time my head can occur. That is, as Amani said, it is 0.5. So that's what it is represent here. The number of favorable occurrence to the number of possible occurrence. So the number of possible occurrences, if I toss a coin, either I can get a head or a tail. So there are two possible occurrences. But when I toss a coin, only one can be the result. So either I'll get a head or else a tail. So it is divided by 1 by 2. If I'm talking about probability of getting a coin which is head, then I can tell it is 1 by 2, which has equal probability in terms of coin. For an example, if I'm rolling a dice, what is the probability that I get a number called 2? Dice generally has 6 faces. Yes, as Amani said, it is 1 by 6. So only one option can occur, either 2, 3, 4, or 5, or 6. Any one of these numbers can occur, but there are actually 6 spaces. So the probability is 1 by 6. So that's what we're going to look here. And in another way, now for an example, let us look at a case study. Okay. So in this particular case study, I have 100 coins. Okay, I'm going to toss 100 coins. Sorry, I'm going to toss 10 coins. So I have 10 coins, and I'm going to toss 10 coins simultaneously. Okay, this is the process. And how many times it is possible to get a head? So if I'm tossing 10 coins, what is the probability of getting no heads? What is the probability of getting one head? What is the probability of getting two heads? And this is actually the thing that I'm going to choose. Yeah, as I'm going to say, it is 0.5 into 10, but I'm going to repeat the process for 100 times. So first time I'm going to toss 10 coins parallelly, okay, and I'm going to record how many times head had occurred. And the second time also I'm going to toss 100. And the second time also I'm going to toss 10 coins simultaneously, and I'm going to record how many times head had occurred. Okay, I'm repeating this process 100 times. If you're looking at this frequency, see, so what they actually made a survey. So they had tossed 10 coins, and they had repeated this experiment 100 times. So don't get confused. So I'll just tell, okay, I'm tossing 10 coins simultaneously, and I'm going to do this operations 100 times. Okay, 100 times I'm going to repeat the same process. So first time I'll toss 10 coins. Second time also I'll toss 10 coins. The same way I'm tossing the 10 coins 100 times. Okay, and I had recorded the frequency. So I just see that only in this 100 times, only one time I found that no heads turned up. Okay, all the 10 coins were showing me tail. That frequency is only one. And two times it showed only one head and 9 tails. And three times it showed 2 heads and 8 tails. Okay, this is actually the number of heads which had occurred. So here, just tell me which is the maximum frequency, which is the number which had maximum times which had occurred on looking at this frequency. This is actually, if you're adding all these things, it comes to 100. 100 times the experiment is done. In only one experiment, I found that all my 10 coins are tail. And in only 2 experiments, I find that only one head turned up and the rest 9 coins are tail. Okay, as Matthew said, 5 heads 30 times. So in 30 experiments, I find that 5 times I get head and 5 tails I find. So this is having maximum frequency. So according to us, if I toss a coin, if I toss 10 coins simultaneously, the optimum probability, the maximum probability that I get is 5. 5 times 5 heads will occur and 5 tails would occur. That is the maximum occurrence that is here. So that's what we're going to see here. And this would give you the relative frequency for every flips. For an example, if I ask you a question, what is the probability of getting 0 head when I'm tossing 10 coins? What would be your answer? If I toss 10 coins, all the 10 coins are tail. I'm not getting not even a single head. What is the probability? It is 0.001. This relative frequency would tell you what is the probability. This is nothing but 1 divided by 100, because in 100 experiments only one time this scenario had occurred. So 1 divided by 100 is 0.01. 2 divided by 100 is 0.02. because if you're adding up all this frequency, it comes to 100. So individual value divided by 100, and 30 divided by 100 would be 0.3. Clear? If I'm asking a question, what is the probability of getting 5 heads when I'm flipping 10 coins? What is the probability? What is the probability that I get 5 heads in this particular scenario? It is actually 0.3. 0.3 would be the probability. So for 5 times head, 0.3 is the probability. And what is your expected value? So before I toss a coin, okay, we are not talking about this experiment. In a general way, I am asking a question, okay. I am tossing 10 coins simultaneously. What is the probability for me to get head? What would be your answer? How many said 5? On what basis you said 5? This is actually your expected value, right? You didn't do any experiment, but you are arriving at a particular value. You guess that, okay, whenever I toss 10 coins simultaneously, at least 5 times I can get head. At least 5 coins will turn up head. That's your expected value. That's where this expected value is calculated. So the method to calculate your expected value is nothing but 0 into your frequency. So into your relative frequency. So if you're multiplying 0.01 into 0, it becomes 0. Your relative frequency into the number of heads. So this is 0.02 into 1, it becomes 0.02. 0.03 into 2, it becomes 0.06. And if you are adding up all these values together, 5.14. Yeah. So 5.14 is the expected value. So according to our analysis, initially before doing this experiment, what was our expected value? If I toss 10 coins, 5 is the thing that I'm going to get 5 times. I assume that at least 5 heads would turn up. Even after looking at the expected value, now we are guessing that it is 5.14. So it is closely near to 5. So 5 times head can turn up. That's how the probability works. Okay. And if I'm asking the probability of individual things to occur, for an example, if I ask you a question, what is the probability of 7 times head occurring when I flip 10 coins? What would be your answer? Your answer would be 0.12. Right? This is the probability. Clear about probabilities and expected values? Expected is nothing but your assumption. So initially you would have some assumption. What is that overall assumption that it gives, and what is the maximum number which is occurring? This is all about probability distribution. So generally, if you know the probability, it sometimes help you in knowing some business process. For an example, in the same phases, just connect it with customer getting into your company and getting a particular product. Okay. So initially on a particular day, 10 customers are getting into your shop and they're getting chocolate coffee. And in the same way, what is the probability that tomorrow, if there are 10 customers, how many customers would, if I want to check the probability that 5 customers are getting hot coffee, I can derive from this probability values. That's what you can also relate the same example with some of the business cases, and you can do it. Okay. This is about probability distribution. And if you're looking at in our slide also this will be represented. So this is the same way, like they took another example, how many units sold on the first day, like here are different days. For 10 days 0 units sold, for 55 days only 1 unit had sold, for 150 days 2 units has sold. The same example they had given for another business case. So sales data for AC sold in last 300 days. In last 300 days, how many AC is getting sold? So in last 300 days, only 10 days, I found that 10 days there is no sale. In 55 days, I found only 1 unit sold. In 150 days, I found 2 units sold. So this is actually the frequency which is mentioned. And here the probabilities are calculated correspondingly and which is being plotted. Here you can see at an average level, how many units are sold. At an average level, 3 units are sold. This would be your expected value, right? Clear, everyone? The same thing in terms of business example they had given. Just go through this example, and it is also the same process. Next, coming to binomial distribution. So because we will not much get into the statistical part or a mathematical part. So what will is, because some people are from business background and some people are from maths background. So what I'll do is I'll try to put all these things in a simpler way. So that's the reason I had created another slide. Because generally on looking at a complete slide, it is difficult for you to understand the stats concept. So that's why I had also created some additional slides to represent all these examples. Okay. So for an example, what is binomial distribution? Okay, as Akansha said, it is two values. So whenever you have two situations like probability of success or failure or the event happening or not happening, in those sort of situations, only if you have, if your values are like, if you have a fixed number of trial and if you have the trials of independent of each other, then you can go for a binomial distribution and it has only two options, either a success or else a failure. So in those sort of situations, you can go for a binomial distribution. So only one probability of success and the other things would be a failure. So what I'll do is I'll also show the slide that I had created. For an example, binomial distribution, let's not get much into a technical part. Okay. Suppose a die is tossed 5 times. So how many sides a die has? It has 6 sides. And what is the probability of success there? What is the probability of success in a dice? It is 1 by 6. And what is the probability of failure? It is actually 5 by 6. Yeah. So in this case, what I'm going to do is, what is the probability of getting exactly 2 4s? So if I roll a dice and if I'm doing the same process 5 times, what is the probability of getting exactly 2 4s? In this case, it becomes easier. So one thing is you can do, okay, as Amani said, 1 by 36. I'm just, yes, 1 by 36 when you are accounting 5 times. For a single die, it would be 1 by 6, right? Yeah. Yeah, that is option. And Sandhya, you were telling 2 by 5. How it is 2 by 5? What is 2 by 5? Because 2 4s, yeah, it cannot be related in that way. So I'll just tell you how to do this process. This is the process. You are clear about one die faces, right? What is the probability? It is 1 by 6. And just make sure that this I'll be taking in terms of formulas, and I'll also tell you how to do this in Excel in an easier way. First, I'll tell you the formula, how to do this process. Okay. The formula to do this is binomial distribution is, the formula is NCR, NCR, N would be capital NCR, P to the power of R into Q to the power of N minus R. This is the formula. This probably you would have learnt in your colleges or school. So here, let me explain. Let me once I'll put it in a formula basis and I'll do this process, and again I'll explain you how this is happening in terms of tool very easily. So what is exactly N here? How many times we had repeated this process? What is N? This is the formula to calculate binomial distribution. So it is 5. 5 times I had repeated the process. So 5, the combination of, what is R here? How many times 4 should occur? It is 2. So it is 2. And what is P is nothing but the probability of success. What is the probability of success when you are rolling a dice? It is 1 by 6. Yeah. So if you are dividing 1 by 6 in calculator, what is the value? 1 by 6 to the power of, what is R here? It is 2. And in the same way, what is the probability of failure? Q is nothing but your probability of failure. It is 5 by 6. If your success is 1 by 6, it is minus of your success rate. So it is 5 by 6. To the power of, what is N? What is N here? 5. 5 minus 2. So can someone tell me what is 5c to the power of 5 combination of 2? What is 5 combination of 2? What is the value of, someone said it is 3, but basically we will also do 5c to the power of 2. What you will do is, I'll also tell you what is the formula for this. This is nothing but n factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r factorial. I'll just put this formula just for your understanding. This is nothing but n factorial. So if you want to calculate manually by hands also you can do it. N factorial divided by r factorial into n minus r, the whole factorial. Okay. And if you are substituting in this formula, what is the answer that you get? 5c2. What is n factorial here? 5 factorial is nothing but 5 into 4 into 3 into 1. Yeah. 5 into 4 into 1 divided by. So only for this I am just giving a detailed explanation. And what is R factorial? What is R factorial here? Okay, I think everyone had did this process. Everyone had given the answer 10. But just for the first process, I will do this. This is actually 2 factorial. 2 factorial into n minus 2 is nothing but 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 factorial. So 3 factorial would be 3 into 2. Right? So this is actually 3 into 2, it gets cancelled, and 2 will cancel by 2. So this is actually 10. So 10 would be the result of 5C2. Instead of 5C2, now you can substitute 10. Okay. 10 into what is the result? 1.6, 1 by 6 into 1 by 6 to the power of 2. What is it? What is the result? Yeah, here 1 by 6 would be 0.167. 0.167 to the power of 2 into the failure would be 0.833 to the power of 5 minus 2 is actually 3. And if you are solving this, you would get a result of 0.161, right? This is the probability that you would get. This is the result that you would get using formula. In the same way, if I am doing the same process in Excel, let me see how much time it is. And now it is the probability. So if I ask you a question, what is the probability? What is the probability for me to get exactly 2 4s when I toss 5 times the dice? What is the probability? It is 0.161. The same thing you can do very easily in terms of Excel. So just open your Excel. Here just type what is the operation that we are going to do? What is the distribution that we are going to do now? We are going to do binomial distribution. So just type binomial, you will get binomial distribution option. So in this binomial distribution, you can see the number to specify here. What is the number that we are going to take here? How many times 4 should occur? So the number of time exactly 4 should occur is 2 times. And what is the number of trials? It is 5. And what is the probability of success? What is the probability of success? It is 1 by 6. Okay, I'm putting 1 by 6. And cumulative. Cumulative is something very important to understand. So now we are going to do a point probability. So in terms of point probability, you have to select false as your option. I'll tell you what is cumulative probability and what is point probability. So now we are able to see the result, right? What is the result? Even when manually calculating 0.161, it is 0.16075. It can be accounted as 0.161. It is equal, right? It becomes very simple in terms of Excel. Now in the same way, if I am asking you, okay, Sandhya, to repeat again. So what I'll do is, I'll do the same process again. Binomial distribution. Okay, what is this number of S? Number of S represents that how many times that your number should occur. So in our case, exactly 4 times the number should occur, right? I'll show you the question once more. Suppose a die is tossed 5 times. What is the probability of getting exactly 2 4s? So what is the number that you're expecting? Exactly 2 4s. That's what I had mentioned here as 2. First number is actually I'm mentioning I want 2 exact 4s. And how many trials I had made? How many times I had made the trial? 5 times I had made the trial. And what is the probability of getting a success in a dice? 1 by 6. So I'm giving 1 by 6 here. And it is very easy in Excel because it throws you what are all the parameters to pass. And cumulative, here I'll talk about point probability. Then I'll talk about cumulative probability as well. So first I'll talk about point probability, which is exactly 4. Okay. So here I want only on this particular point, what is the probability? So I'll select my operation as false. Okay. I'm clicking it, I'm closing it, I'm clicking enter. So I get the probability value. Clear? Clear, Sandhya? Clear about this process? Okay. Now, what the question that I had framed is exactly 2 numbers. What exactly 2 4s? So what I did is, and also, so the first question what I did is exactly 2 times the number 4 should occur. This is what I did. So here what I can do is the probability of x is equal to 4. This is the x is equal to 2 times it should occur. In the same way, if I want to find less than or equal to 2, p of x less than or equal to 2. In this case, what would be my value? What should be my value? So I should calculate the probability of 0, because if it is less than or equal to 2, I should calculate the probability of 0, I should calculate the probability of 1, probability of 2, right? In this situation. In this case, if I take only one probability, that is sufficient. This is called point probability. Because I am doing this operation for only one particular value, which is a pointed value. I want to know exactly 2 4 to occur. But what if I have a question, okay, at least 2 times it occurred. So in that case, what you will do is p of x less than or equal to 2. Here what you want to know is, you want to know the probability of 0 times occurring, and you want to know the probability of 1 time the value getting occurred, and you want to know the probability of 2 times the value get occurred. Clear? This is what you have to do. So first what I'll do is, I'll take a, now instead of false, instead of this particular false, if I give true, the cumulative actually happens. If I give true here, this is actually cumulative distribution. So this is actually the probability of 0, 1 and 2 gets added. So what is the probability of 0, 1 and 2 all together for less than or equal to 2? What is the probability? In another way, what I'll do is, just copy this. So first time 0 times it is occurring. Okay, what is the value? 0.40. And now I'll just put the value here as 1. Only one time the value is occurring. Okay. And now I'll put the probability of 2 times the value get occurred. Okay. Now if I add all these things, this is for what? The probability of x is equal to 0. 0. This is actually the probability of x equal to 1. And this is actually the probability of x is equal to 2. This is, all these points are individual probability, right? This is point probability. What is the chance of 0 time occurring? What is the probability of 1 time occurring? What is the probability of 2 time occurring? This is exactly 0, this is the value. Exactly 1, this would be the probability. Exactly 2, this is the probability. So what if I want x less than or equal to 2? What I should do? These are all like point probabilities I had found. Now if I want to calculate the total, I have to sum it up. Yeah. If I sum all these 3 values, what is the value that I get? 0.964506, which is nothing but, if you are mentioning as true, the accumulation happened. If you are mentioning as false, the point probability happens. Now is it clear for everyone? One thing is, you can take point probability of all the points and you can add, or else directly with the last value you can divide, you can mention your cumulative as true. Then automatically the accumulation happens. Is it clear everyone? Now is it clear for everyone with this example? This is how the binomial distribution works. Either you can calculate point probability and you can add, or else you can mention your accumulation as true. If you are mentioning accumulation as false, it is point probability. If it is true, then it is a cumulative probability. Okay. Next I'll get into the other distribution. So in the same way, that's what, as I gave you an example here they had given. So now can someone tell me with this particular problem, don't see the answer, okay. Just tell me what is the probability of updating. First tell me what is the probability of updating exactly 45 heads in 100 tosses of a coin. Can someone tell me for exactly 45? First tell me exactly 45, then tell me the cumulative probability. So for doing this process, what are all the factors that I should consider? Exactly 45 times. I want to know exactly 45 times how it is occurring. I'll also copy this question. In this question, what is the formula that I should put here? What is the, instead of obtaining fewer hits, first consider exactly 45 hits. First the question is, just tell me the point probability of exactly 45 hits. Okay, 0.048. So I'll also check it once. Okay, so equal to binomial distribution. What is the number of parameters that we are fixing? Exactly 45, right? And number of trials, we had made 100 trials. And what is the probability of success here in tossing a coin? It is 0.5. Yeah, 1 by 2 or zero point 0.5, anything is okay. And what is the parameter that I should mention for point probability? False or true? I should mention false. Yeah, I mention false. This is 0.048. And in the same way, if I want to find what is the probability of less than or equal to 45 or fewer heads of 45, then what I'll do is I can make it true here. I will get a cumulative option. Okay, fine. So this has a probability of heads occurring less than or equal to 45. Here everyone, 18% chance.